Hey y'all, it's Raj with EV365, and today we're going to put on some mud flaps from BestEVMod on the R1T. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. BestEVMod was nice enough to send me these mud flaps for the front and back of the R1T, and they've got these for the R1S as well. And these are super easy to install. It looks like it's just gonna take 3 screws. You use the existing Rivian holes that are on the vehicle. And then there's an optional screw that goes into that you can drill into into the plastic on the Rivian, but you've got double stick tape as well, so you don't necessarily need to drill into the Rivian if you don't want to. So we're gonna try it with the tape at first, and then if we start seeing a rattle or something like that, we might use that self-tapping screw that it came with. And it's made out of, kind of a sturdy plastic material, so they're not like rubber mud flaps, they're plastic. So we'll see, we may get some rattle or something like that when we use them, and we'll follow up and give that kind of feedback. But in general, they're just gonna slide right on in on the front and back, real similar. And then you just screw it where you pull the existing screws out. There's one on the bottom, and you put them into place. And the cool thing about what BestEVMod is, they're packaged together. They're labeled over here on the bottom, so you know if it's gonna be for the right, left, or the front left, or where they belong. And it also says this one's for the R1T. So that lets me know the R1S ones are probably slightly different. Oh yeah, it looks like the rear ones are different. The front ones are the same. And it comes with all the tools and extra screws that you need in case, for whatever reason, you don't want to use the ones on the R1T. So that's all the screws, and you've got the tools. There's a Torx bit that you're gonna have to pull out. There's a hex bolt that you're gonna have to pull out, and then there's actually, I think, just a normal, maybe a Phillips that you're gonna need to pull out as well. So they give you all 3 of those. Yeah, Rivian does always like to use different screws in different places. Their charger was exactly the same way. So yeah, we're gonna install it. I'll just kind of voice over that part of the video. And then kind of at the end, we'll show you how the final install looks. All right. What they say is you take out this screw using the Torx bit provided. There's actually a push pin here that you can pop out with a screwdriver. So that's the one thing you'll need your own, just use a flathead to pop that out. And they actually give you additional push pins for you to use once you've put this on. So that's where you use their screw or their push pin that they provide. And then there's one on the bottom that's a hex bit that you can put back in there. And they do provide all those bits as well, but the push pin's the only one they recommend where you use their new one. And that's probably just because the old one might get worn out once you pull it out. So we'll go to get this one installed, and then we'll do the same for the rear. All right, y'all, we got that front mud flap on, and a couple of things I noticed while we were doing it. So when you're taking everything off, you can use the tools they give you pretty easily. You use the smaller of the 2 Torx wrenches they give you for this middle screw. That comes off, and you use the same one that you put back in. For the plug, I did have to use a flathead of my own to pop the old one off. I went ahead and used the plugs they gave us. And what I did notice was actually having the wheel turned all the way in the other direction made it a lot easier for me to get that plug back in, because I used the little rubber mallet to pop it in. When the tires in this configuration, you can't really access it that great. You can get it out, but getting the other one in is a little more difficult. So I suggest you turn the wheel that way. You get plenty of clearance, and you can pop it right in. This hex bolt down here, I was able to use the tool they gave me to take it off real easy. But when you're putting it back on, the flap itself is in the way. So then you're just much better off using your own hex bit or socket wrench to get that one in. And then of course, I forgot to take the tape off the sticker, the double-sided sticker that was here to hold this in place. And honestly, here in Texas with the heat, that wasn't gonna hold. So I decided to go and use that self-tapping screw, and it goes into the plastic that's here on the Rivian. But yeah, that's not too bad. So that's gonna hold it. So you can see that's real secure in place. And again, it's like a hard plastic, not a hard, but kind of a flexible plastic material. And it'll keep mud and rocks, obviously, is maybe the more important things from flying up and chipping your vehicle or splattering up on the doors. It's not gonna catch everything. Some stuff's still gonna go through this aero gap. I think in the old designs or old versions of these, this might have gone all the way up and covered that aero gap. I kind of do still like having that aero gap there, so it's not going to catch everything, but it'll help a little bit, and we'll try it out and see how that does for a little while, and kind of just see how it ages as well. If this plastic will stay kind of looking black and dark, I'm sure eventually it'll kind of match the fade that you see on some of this Rivian plastic as well. So we'll do the back one and try that out also. All right, y'all, here we are at the rear. This one's going to be even easier than the front one. There's just 3 screws that you need to remove. They're all using one of the 2 Torx bits. You're gonna have 2 screws here, 1 over here on the back. So you don't even have to use a hex for this one or any plugs. So this one's super simple. No double stick tape, no self-tapping screws or anything like that. So we'll do that real quick and then show you how that one looks. All right, y'all, we got the mud flaps installed on all 4 wheels. And yeah, they fit perfect. They did a good job sizing them. Real easy to install. And again, these are made by BestEVMod. They're made in China, and they seem to be made out of a pretty good quality plastic that kind of matches what Rivian has used on their bottom. So hopefully, after a little bit of use, the kind of color fit looks the same. And yeah, these will keep mud and rocks and things like that from hitting your vehicle. And yeah, you can see that fits real good on all of these mud flaps. And you can get them on both Amazon or on their website, and we'll put both those links in the comments below along with a coupon code for you to use. But that's the BestEVMod mud flaps, y'all, for the Rivian R1T. Like I said, they've got them for the R1S as well. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hang loose.